I figured at the very least, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes would be fun, but without Andy Serkis starring, I was hesitant going in. Welcome to Sandwich Reviews. I'm the Talking Sentient Sandwich, and thankfully, I really enjoyed my time watching this movie. Instantaneously, the audience is treated to a lush world reminiscent of something like The Last of Us, but even further gone. If you've played it or seen it, it looked very Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West as well. But past a cool-looking new setting, I wondered if this movie was necessary, considering we've already gotten a modern-day Planet of the Apes trilogy that only gets better the more times I watch it. But within the first act of Kingdom, I quickly grew to care for the characters and got invested. I also wasn't sure if the visual effects could get any better than what we last saw, but of course, everything looked great. I don't think there were any moments where it was necessarily better than War for the Planet of the Apes. But one thing I noticed in this movie was how the CG brought out more human expression in the apes. Their facial gestures were allowed to be more animated, which really got me to appreciate the characters. And speaking of, I think it was only because I grew to liking seeing the apes on screen so much that Freya Allen, the main human character, came off as wooden. Maybe that was just because her personality was more stoic. And I get that. It's not a great world to be living in. But everyone else absolutely brought it. Playing an ape in the first place is incredibly difficult, but Noah, the main character, Rocka, and the villain deserve a shout out. But aside from the characters, I want to move on to the pacing. Not that it's terrible or even noticeably bad, but I'm still trying to figure it all out. I mean, the movie isn't too long, but you can feel its length. That could be because the film is segmented into specific locations, but what are you gonna do? It's a movie and it has 3 acts. But for now, I'll say that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is definitely worth a watch. So if you're a fan of the franchise or just a fan of good movies, check it out. But now, I want to talk spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, you might want to duck out. Still here? Well, whatever. Let's get into it. You could watch each and every movie in the Planet of the Apes franchise, and trust me, there's more than you realize, and enjoy this movie as you notice specific Easter eggs and nods, or you can just go into it and let the movie organically tell you everything you need to know, because that's what Kingdom does. It manages to make another installment in the franchise, upholding everything in it, while also creating something new and original, allowing for both die-hard fans and newcomers to both be welcome. The movie itself begins with a flashback of the death of Caesar from War, and that instantly sets the tone. And of course, that ties in with the whole narrative. Aside from that, the first act is amazing. To sum it up in a way that would make completely no sense if you haven't seen the movie, a human breaks Noah's egg, he decides to go out and find another, but instead finds a vicious tribe. Then, after hiding from them, the tribe follows his horse back to his village and burns it all to the ground. At that point, we didn't know the main character that well, and we knew his father even less. I bet you it was only because they were bird people, and animals will always get to me, even if it's tangentially linked, but I really liked how it set the audience up for Noah's journey. Quickly after that, we meet Rocka, and he was only there to teach the main character about Caesar and morality, then die, and he wasn't even in the movie for that long. But I loved every moment he was on screen. The way he was the more religious one, who was all about trusting and respecting humans, then made a side comment about how they were stinky and dumb. It showed how despite how good someone can try to be, they can still hold prejudice. That complexity really added to the emotion I felt when I saw him die. Skipping over the human plot for now and jumping forward to the last act, I figured the villain, Proximus, would be a cliché, eating grapes and cackling from his throne room or something, but he was surprisingly complex as well. And it wasn't just him, everyone was just trying to do right by their people, even the main character. Proximus distrusted humans, and in his mind, rightfully wanted to wipe them out while making apes technologically stronger. He was only in the latter half of the movie, but his presence and the way he was twisting Caesar's words could be felt throughout. His gorilla henchman was also fun to see for fight scenes, but I wish he was present in more of the movie to add tension here and there. But instead of that, what invested me into the movie was Noah's relationship with his eagle and with May, the human character. From the first shot of Noah setting off and the eagle soaring in the lead, I read the eagle as his father's spirit guiding him, which made the overall story of him trying to get it to respond to his song all the better. And with May, it was the moment that they both looked through the telescope and bonded over their wonder with it. From then on, I was well on board with Noah's protecting of her. I have no clue where her character could go in the future, but let's just say I have no doubt her and the other human civilizations that were hinted at have numbered days. I've already made a video about my thoughts about how the astronauts are definitely coming back, and even more conspiracies. But what are your thoughts on Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? Think the franchise should have stopped with war? Leave a comment and let me know. And as always, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe for weekly videos and reviews, and enjoy a delicious sandwich.